dear. Fantastic.
I
Kathy, I
don't
love
know. I
this stuff.
heard planning and priorities, and I said, I'm hopping on.
Good. I was going to ask you, so I was going to say, you look like you're ready. It's like, come on, bring it on.
I was 10 minutes ago, and
Definitely.
then I was like, no, I'm scraping things around. So,
Yeah.
So the
hi,
priority.
Krystal. I think I've met you once or twice. That's
Yeah,
all.
hi Kathy, how are you?
Hi, good, good.
Good to
Set
see
my
you.
priorities. Set my priorities. I'm ready.
Okay, well, we're,
Mhm.
we're going to dive into that. And Sharon, what's your excitement about being here?
Oh my gosh. I'm I so need this in trying to get myself educated and then give information out to clients and attend all these things. Sometimes I'm not picking the right thing, and other times I'm not organized. So it all applies.
Yes, 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 absolutely. Oh my
In
goodness.
fact,
Go on.
I haven't done a thing to know that I'm doing something.
I love that. And I so relate to that as well. Because it's like, I've got so much to do. Why am I not doing anything? You're in that,
Yes.
I don't know where to start phase. Yeah, that overwhelm is not fun, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. So, where are you based, Sharon? You said good
I'm
morning.
in Scottsdale, Arizona, in the
Awesome.
United States.
Well, I knew you were in the United States. I just didn't know where to pinpoint. And Arizona is the only one that doesn't do the changing of
But
time.
that's right.
Ah, see, I learned that the other day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it must be as confusing for you as everybody else, right?
It actually is because everyone else changes, so we still have to adapt.
Yes, yes, yes. And Kathy, are you Eastern? Oh, you put yourself on mute, my friend.
Virginia Beach.
Mm.
Virginia Beach, California.
Uh, Virginia, East
Virginia
Coast.
Beach, Virginia. Okay. You have to be very specific with me. Brilliant. Okay, well, I'm going to pass it over to Krystal to introduce herself and then I'll introduce myself and then we'll get going.
I am Crystal Casey. I am a business strategist for authors and speakers and a Go High Level specialist. So I help business owners organize the back end of their business so that they can create the freedom to be present for the things that matter. Hi, Mary.
Mm. Hi, Mare.
Nice.
What was that, Sharon?
Oh, I just said nice. Yes.
Yes, yes. Crystal's my techie friend. Fantastic. And
Mm.
it's so true. If you've got that, I call it the back office rather than back end. The back end always sounds a bit rude to me. Mind your back end. So I call it my back office.
Yes.
So when you've got everything organized there and it's in order and you've got your systems in place, that's when things can really start to flow and you're just like, oh, that is all sorted and that's all organized. That feels really good. And now I need to move forward with me and my priorities and my productivity and getting me going, right? But I know it's all going to land in a very safe back office and a backspace. So hi there, Wendy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for myself, I'm an aligned peak performance coach. So I very much work with the environment, well, not the environment, but one's environment, and also with priorities and goal setting and planning so that you've got things planned out and you know step by step how you're going to do it. And that's what we want to cover today. And we want to find out where you struggle the most in all of those things. Is it the back office? Is it the planning? Is it the strategizing? What is all of that? So, welcome, Mare. I'm going to start with you.
So tell me again, like exactly what you're wanting from me. I need to
So,
hear the question clearer.
yes, I will be clearer. So, where do you find you struggle the most? Is it with prioritizing? Is it with planning? Is it with the profit side? Is it with the back office and all of that in the back office, or is it in the front office with you yourself?
That's a great question, and I would say that it's probably everything. And when I'm clear on a obstacle in my energetic flow, I get help. I ask for help. Like I'm really clear. Oh, you know what? I don't get this, or this isn't working for me in this moment. What is this trying to show me? The seeing of which I will change everything. Oh, I need to hire Krystal. Duh. Oh, I need Wendy to tell me the story of dream lifting, right? In her way, right? Like, so it's I don't really get stuck. I'm aware that most of our brain is on unconscious programming running. I am aware of that. So if I want to dig deeper, I ask for help. If I find myself stuck, I ask for help. Um, I, I'm having a human experience. I don't get excused from it. So, you know, I go through the roller coasters of emotions and judgment dragon rumbles, but I've lived enough years and am aware that asking for help is the antidote. And so I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, because I think if everything was working perfectly, would I be here today?
Interesting.
Right? I mean, on this call. And I would say, no, I'm having a human experience. What don't I know that I don't know is probably why I'm here. So, it's harder to answer your question straight up front, because if I get an inkling of what's going on, I know what to do. I ask for help.
Yeah.
So it's really the what am I not seeing, or what hasn't bubbled up yet, or what door can I open so that there's a different flow, or what door do I shut so that there's a different flow, right?
Yeah,
So what don't I know that I don't know?
I love that. And that beautifully answers the question as well, because we want to know where everybody's at on the call. So it's like, yes, what don't I know? What might I catch here that then I can go, oh, well, I'm clear with that. Or who's the who that needs to help me with that? And I need to ask. So I love that. So the antidote to everything is asking, which I love. And Sharon, I know you said a little bit at the beginning, but share a little bit more. What would you say your main thing is? And you can find that mute button, which is so hard when you're on the phone.
It is. There we go. Um, mm. Both sides really need help. Okay, I struggle the most with the back office stuff because I'm really challenged in doing anything about it or following instructions. They don't really mesh with me. It might say do A and B, and then I have to look up what did A mean. And by that time, I'm totally frustrated. So I do need to ask for help. So the back office part is the hardest for me, but I am struggling with if organizing comes under planning or with it, then it's the planning part right now.
And yes, it does.
Okay.
Because if you've got a plan, then you're organized.
Yes. Okay.
You've possibly heard of the saying, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Yes, I have.
That's not a
Yes.
good plan to have. So
Yes.
getting that one nailed is really important. Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, Wendy, let's hear from Wendy.
Yes. So this is in terms of planning, profit, and what's the other keyword for today's theme?
Priorities.
And then we're talking about where I need to be willing to ask for help, basically.
It's where you feel you're struggling the most. It's like where if there was one kind of piece, is it what I call in the front office? Is it with you, or is it in the back office because you know you haven't got the systems in place? with those things.
Definitely the back office, because I think I would feel better about fulfillment and knowing there's going to be follow through and knowing that people are going to get something that's systematized, because
Mm.
that will allow me to enjoy what I'm doing. And there's a lot coming through by my choices and selection. I juggle a lot of things. I'm proud of myself for the things I do get accomplished. I'm usually doing 5 things at once, and that might not be the standard advice, but that's actually really what's working for me. So can't explain that one, but I would love to have systems that have me supported.
Mm.
And I don't prefer the solopreneur path. I really like team play and collaboration.
Love that. I'm sure Krystal is going to have lots of questions for everyone that's saying back office. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Wendy. That's brilliant. And Kathy.
Have some background noise, but I wanted to be on here. My biggest bottleneck is the back end tech. I have strategies. I can focus on one thing. I have ideas. I can practice them and I can put them into place, but I know what I need to do in some of that strategy. Like even when I get someone to help me with a website, I know what to do. It just takes me forever. Forever. So systems was a good word. Who said that? Wendy. Like, I just wish my systems work. They're in place. They don't all work.
Mm.
Hmm. So you know there are some that don't work, but if you went into them, you could make them work, but it takes a long time. Is that what I'm hearing?
It takes a lot. Yes. And I know I could be doing much better things and, communicating with people and getting feedback, but I could get stuck for 2 hours in tech.
Yeah, so that's where the priorities comes in, right? That's definitely where the priority. I heard the little one there. Hello, little one. Fabulous. Right. So, Krystal, what's your response to all of that we've just found out?
Yeah. So the reason that I wanted to do this party is because a lot of times our priorities and where our time is going don't always match, right? So we'll say that this thing is really important to us, but in the calendar, we don't schedule it or we don't have time, or the calendar is showing different things, right? And this is really important to me because as a single mom with 5 kids, I also constantly juggling all of the things and trying to figure out how to keep things going. And when systems are not in place, it's me. It's me doing all of the things, and there's only so much of me to go around, right? So I 100% think that it starts in the back office and getting everything organized. And that starts with knowing what your priorities are and having a plan, like Lucy said. And so, what that looks like for me in the back office is a lot of times we are piecemealing things together, right? Like we learned to build a lead magnet over here, and we learned about we needed a website. So we set up a website over here. And then we started putting an offer together. So that's going on over here. And then we have some marketing that needs to go over here. And it's not really all pieced together. We're just kind of working in all of these different parts. So what I recommend is putting everything together and creating your ecosystem. Okay. I, of course, compare it to parenting. There are a million different ways to parent, right? There's no one right way to parent, but there's a right way for you. And there's a way that works best for you. Setting up your business is the same way. There are a million different strategies out there on how to run a business, on how to get clients, on how to convert, on how to make sales, on what your offer should be, on your messaging, on your branding, and a million of them that work. That's not the question. The question is, which one is going to work for you? Which one fits for your business? And so that's how I like to start. What do I want to happen? What is the client journey, if you will? When somebody finds me, first of all, where are they finding me? And then when they find me, what do I want to happen? What is the journey that I want to take them on? And that is what I figure out. I figure out the system first. Because if you look at the tech, if you start trying to organize what's in there, you can get so overwhelmed so quickly because, like I said, there's a million different ways to do it. So I set up your plan, plot out what your plan is, and then set up your tech and your systems to align with that. Does that land? Awesome. So I don't know, Lucy, where we want to go from here.
I was going to say, does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Any ahas?
I don't have a aha. I have an ha. And it's because um I know that Kathy purposefully put ecosystem because I just wanted to make sure because I know that was meant to be funny, right? Because I was like, I wanted to send a laughing emoji because, but I thought, well, she knows how to spell ecosystem, so I think she did that on purpose. But I didn't want to. Yes, that's so funny. I'll get back on track. It was a haha. I had to acknowledge that. That's funny.
Thank you, Wendy. Anybody else?
Well, I'm curious.
I will explain that I thought if I put lunch down, that the 2-year-old and 4-year-old would be okay. Well, I just popped on for a minute. Like, I don't know why I thought that would be okay, but it should have been. But I absolutely understand that because as you start something and you set your priorities, yes, let's get the lead magnet. My offer is almost done, but sometimes build it before it's ready. So it'll be ready next week. So I put in that coming soon on that page. And does the button work? Well, I don't want it to build one button now and one button later. So it gets confusing. And then you want to keep your blogs going on your blog website. So that I put in the calendar as, the second Tuesday of every month. So that's how I prioritize that one.
Yeah, and that's planning that. Yeah, planning that.
Mhm.
So that's so good. Brilliant.
Because you've got to keep all the balls somewhere, not necessarily in the air. But you have to have them somewhere.
And that's for me where the back office is really helpful, where automation comes into play. I love
Automation. Yes. Yes.
Brilliant. And Mare, you came off mute as well.
Yeah, well, I was just saying what I was hearing is that centralizing system communications is what I heard you um, suggesting. Is that true?
Yes. Systems communication. Yes.
Like centralizing it.
Mhm.
That's the instead of in businesses is they get bigger, they centralize and then they decentralize and then they centralize and then they decentralize. So talk to me some about the healthiest, in your opinion, in this moment in history. What's the best centralizing system to, like, if you're buying a system, what do we buy?
Are you talking about software?
I guess I am. I'm talking about whatever this system communication centralization is. I made up it with software.
So that's what comes to mind to me is software. I use software. And that is where I centralize everything. And it's including the blog that Kathy mentioned, and your social media and your email and everything else is like knowing what your plan is going to be for everything and then having it and knowing that you're not going to be able to handle all of it. So we organize it, then we automate it, and then we delegate it. That's where we go, right? So knowing what you want your business to do, what is it supposed to do? Imagine that you weren't in your business. The business, like the big companies do, right? Like Target can hire anybody to come in and run. Why? Because they have procedures, they have operations, they have systems in place. And no matter who comes in, they know how the business is going to run. So that's what you get to do. You get to figure out what are your procedures? What is the best way for everything to work, right? And then we get to line it all up. And like I said, I use Go High Level. That's the software that I use to pull it all together and to make sure that everything is talking to each other and running in sync. And then obviously in today's day and age, I use Claude AI a lot to connect that with it and help with the automating and the organizing. And I think I'm delegating to AI. I think is that a thing these days? I think that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I think Claude is delegation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having a VA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did that answer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so then my next question would be, at when do you know that Go High Level is the like where are you in your business when you know that the investment in Go High Level is the next best choice for you?
So that's a really good question. And I think a lot of people feel like you need to wait until you're in a certain point to get there. My philosophy is the sooner you set it up and start it, the better, because you're setting up the systems that you're going to scale and you're setting it up initially. And inside of Go High Level, it's all of the things that you need in order to run your business anyway. So the things that you're either using different pieces for or not using it all yet that you need to. So your website, email marketing, social media posting, if you blogging, if you're doing these things, you're ready for the software. If you have an offer that you're trying to sell, if you need to build landing pages and automations, then you're ready. If you have an offer to sell, you're ready for the software.
Okay, so are you a Go High Level coach?
Yes. So, well, I'm a Go High Level agent. So I have an agency, and then I also have like a membership where I help people to use it for their specific business. So I like hot seat and teach you how to set up your business in Go High Level.
Okay, and so my next question, and you can stop me at any time if I'm being too rude or whatever, people just tell me to shut up. So my next question is, um, as a coach of Go High Level, are you in a coaching group with other Go High Level coaches so that you can troubleshoot with somebody else in the Go High Level ecosystem?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 1,000%. A lot of them, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done, Lucy.
Oh, they're great questions. They're great questions. So, I mean, sometimes the mindset goes to, I want to get all the techie stuff done because I'm not the techie person, right? And that just makes the nervous system really calm down. And it's like, now I know I've got all of that stuff set up. We still have, I'll get to in a second, Sharon, I see your hand up. We still have what Krystal was alluding to is you need to work out what your plan is and you need to know what your priorities are. So for me, I would always look at priorities first. So look at everything that you've got going because you're already all doing something. So what do you have And if you could only do one or two of those things, what would you prioritize? And then under that, what would you prioritize under those things? So just as an example, some of you know I'm moving house. So the moving house is like a big priority. That's an overarching priority. But there are lots of priorities underneath that. And it's like, well, what is the most important thing I need to do next? Once I've gone, this is going to be my moving date, perhaps I ought to call somebody and say, removal firm, please can you help me on this date to move, right? Otherwise, I'm going to be up and down in my car and I won't be able to fit everything in anyway. So right, so there's a priority there. It might be lovely to go paint the walls. It might be lovely to go and do the garden, but that's not a priority. It will be at some stage. They'll come up the funnel, but it's not a priority at that stage. And so it's really understanding and getting very strict with yourself. Otherwise, you do get into overwhelm. And then, like Sharon was saying at the beginning, you don't actually get started. You're just like, I know there's loads to do. Why am I not doing anything? And it's really frustrating. So with that thought, I'm going to pass you over to Sharon. What's your question? Or aha.
Okay. My question came up as Mare was talking with Krystal. So, so like about go high level. When I'm ready, I was picturing that I contact you, we go through what I plan to do, you recommend whatever, and you're doing it in go high level for me. Is that wrong? Am I?
There's different ways. There's different ways to do it. Yeah. So I can teach you how to do it, or you can hire me to do it for you. Yeah, absolutely. Because there are some people who are just like, I do not want to touch the tech. I'm going to tell you my plan, make it happen. 1,000%. I can do that. And then there's other people that are like, I want to know, I want to do it. Teach me how to do it. And, or you have a VA and you can send them to me and I will teach them how to do it. And then they get to go and implement for you so that you still don't have to touch it.
Okay. And maybe this is a joint question for you and Lucy. If I just have like 2 clients right now and some formed ideas of what I want to be doing and offering, what do I do first? Do I wait till I have more clients? I mean, 2 is really just a little, or 10. Do I make a plan? What do I do next?
You got it. So this is where I would say you would map out your client journey. You would figure out, first of all, every business has at least 3 departments. We have marketing, we have sales, and we have operations. Okay. The marketing is, how are people finding out about you? Where are they hearing about you? And how are you bringing them in? What is your call to action to get them into your world? How are you being seen? That's the marketing piece. The sales piece is then, how are we converting? What do you offer? What are people paying you for? How are they paying you? Are there contracts? Like, that's the sales part of it, right? And then the operations piece of it is, how are you delivering on that? Client delivery, onboarding your client, delivering your service, the follow-up referral system after you've completed your service. What does all of that look like? And there's more, but those are the 3 main pieces, right? So figure out what your plan is to move your leads, prospects, clients through that process, and then create a plan to set that up. So usually that looks like, pick a marketing avenue. I choose speaking. Speaking is my marketing avenue. Some people are on social media. Some people do paid ads on social. Like, pick your medium, then create a strategy with it. And then we put that into place. So that's our plan. So my strategy is, I meet people, I get on stage, I give a free gift. That free gift then is going to invite them into a webinar. On the webinar, I'm going to teach a little bit about what I do, and then I'm going to make an invitation to book a call with me. Because I have their opt-in, I'm also going to have an email sequence going off the back end that is going to be warming them up and nurturing them and bringing them into my world, inviting them onto a call. So there's like steps and plan in my head of what I want them to do. Now I'm going to go back and set up the systems to make that plan possible, making me as little needed as possible. So I'm going to automate as much as I can, and then make sure that I am putting in the personal touch where I want it to be, where I'm actually delivering, where I'm actually connecting with people and having conversations. And then I have systems in place for the rest of it.
Thank you.
What did you hear from all of that you really grabbed hold of, Sharon?
The need to decide what I'm doing, and then to go through the plan with the marketing, the sales, you know, how you're going to convert, and then the operations, what I'm going to deliver. And I also saw in my mind, okay, so maybe that the plan, and maybe I'm starting with a spreadsheet and something, pay me with PayPal and whatever, and go from there.
Yes, that's what I was saying earlier. There's 1,000 different ways, 1,000,000 different ways to make it happen. What matters first is getting your plan straight. What do you want to happen? And if it starts with a spreadsheet and a Zoom link and a payment plan, so be it. But have a process in place and know what you want it to be. Eventually, you're going to find that you're repeating certain things over and over again. Those are the things we're going to want to automate, because these are things that we know are part of our process. We know they need to happen, but there's going to be a way to make it happen without us having to be the one to do it.
Exactly. And I don't want to be the one, and I'm not good at it. And so automation is my savior.
Yes, your job as the founder of your business is to decide how it runs. What are those processes? And then we can delegate the parts that we don't like or automate the parts that we don't like.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the parts that you know that are essential, right? You know, you want to keep in touch. You know, you want to make sure that your people are seeing you and hearing from you and getting the value and all of those things. And it's a timing thing as well, right, Krystal? It can just be, it feels now like the right time to go to Krystal and go, right, I've got my plan in place. I know what I'm keep on repeating. Now it's time to come to you and set all of this thing up.
And when you find that you're piecing together a bunch of different softwares, that's another clue. And you're like, oh, I need another software to do this thing. I need another software to do this thing, like host my website. I'm going to build out a funnel. What are you using to send emails? What are you using to book calls if you have people book calls with you? So when you start needing all of these different softwares and they all start adding up, then you're like, okay, maybe this is a better way to go, is having them all in one. That's how I ended up in Go High Level. Like 1,000%. That's how I ended up there, because I was at the point of doing courses. I was doing my first course and I was looking for something to host it, like a Kajabi type thing. But I had HoneyBook over here and I had like all of these different things. And somebody said, try Go High Level. And I did. And I literally never looked back. So.
Perfect. Okay, we are welcoming Hajar. Did you want to share where you're from, where you're calling in from? Are you able to come off mute and share? Oh, do you want to come off mute?
Unmute, yeah. Sorry, I unmuted the whole wrong thing video. um, I was interested in sort of the priorities in planning and profits per party, but I am I'm an obstetrician gynecologist, and I develop life care programs, and life care programs for as you realize, all my patients are ladies, excepting some people who come with their the husband and bring forth infertility or fertility problems. So I was very interested to know about the so-called priorities and planning and profits, how we should work and how to set up. I'm a professional working in hospitals, but still, I think there is an opening for me in the way I should deal with doing giving life care. In life care is an interesting concept, and I've just finalized the website, which I'm going to uh, open for the public. This is actually somebody goes and registers themselves and identify what are their health needs or life needs. We always think of health as part of our well-being, and our well-being is a revolution. There is a wellness revolution all over, and we wanted to use this the human nature to develop this business of people identifying what they need to keep themselves alive and keep themselves alive, live long, live young, with this principle. So I thought I didn't realize that it was so sorry. I am the only male it looks in the females amongst us but it's interesting that you all are looking at it from the basic points that are involved in starting a business. I am looking at a business from a professional point. I'm
Yeah,
working as a professional while I'm looking at, is there anything that I can do? It's not a business. It is getting this information across to people. And eventually it'll become a business. Eventually people will want to know extra things. And I don't think anybody in the world have their own life information, excepting that these are called the medical records. These are not called the medicine and related to medicine. And I think life is not medicine, and a life is not health. Health is a state of your life, and if you understand that, then people can be kept at their best performance levels. Now you're talking about that. How do you do a business very well and perform very well? Is that right? So, and that's why I say priorities, planning, and policies or profits party. I thought it was relating to this, so I thought I joined, and I gain from you what you are talking.
fantastic. And it's great. And yes, men and women are welcome. So no worries about that at all. Don't never apologize. So it sounds like you're working in health, right? And you're working there. So but your idea is to have something that people can get a lot of information from
Every
and
human
then
being
take
should
it
be
that as
having.
a business.
Every human being should be having it. In other words, they should connect with each other, learn from each other as a group. For example, simple thing like nutrition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you go to the doctor to advise you about nutrition? No. How do you eat and what should we eat and when should we eat and what is the benefits, what are the disadvantages? This information, and what I am doing in my life care is collecting basic life information and using that life information to give them advice from a point of view of living well, living healthy, and living young.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
I'm trying to sell that you can remain young and people can remain young. Our potential to live is a very interesting thing. We have 22 telomeres in every one of those 32.5 trillion cells. All of us. Okay, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Okay, and this 32.5 trillion cells, and each one of them have 22 telomeres. Mind you, one of the things is a stress-free environment for these cells. If you look after well and if you give good nutrition, if you think of what to drink and when to drink, how much to sleep, and all that, if you add in, each of those cells will live up to 10 years. They multiply, they die and multiply and give a new cell each of those years. Now, if you
Yeah.
can, each time it multiplies, it loses one telomere.
So, Hajar, can I just pause you there
Yeah,
and ask you a question with
yeah,
when
sure.
you're coming in with the priorities, planning, and the profit side of that, are you looking at that for then creating this website to give all of that information to your clients?
Across to all the world. Every
Yeah, but
human being is
that's
going
what
to
you're
be.
looking at, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm having a global look. So I call my organization Universal Life Care 360. Everything is complete.
yeah,
I
very
cover
good.
the whole human being, and just by simply understanding the basics. Now, imagine, so I can continue with the mathematics that we didn't do. 10 years into 22 is how many years? 220 years. So these telomeres are very interesting thing. They keep your life going. And if you do things that can keep the telomeres happy, then the telomeres can multiply themselves. Normally, they would multiply depending on how you treat your body or your health.
I 100% agree. Absolutely. And it
Correct.
also comes down
Now,
to mindset.
if it has been found, I mean, the researchers told us that it can go up to about 30, 22 to 30. Now you do the multiplication again, minimum a cell lives is 7 years. Sometimes we can kill it after 3 or 4 years by our behavior. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but it's 7 to 10 years. And if it is 10 years and 30 telomeres, it's 300 years. Looks absolutely confounding when you come from the point of view of you look at people how they are living. But if you notice a trend in the life, lots of people are living up to near hundreds now. They are moving slowly, but they are moving to near hundreds.
Yes, indeed. Hajar, I'm going
And,
to pause you
and
again just so that we can get
yeah,
back on
sorry,
track
sorry.
so that everyone has a chance to speak as well. But very,
Yes,
very interesting
definitely, definitely.
information.
I
Thank
need
you for
to.
sharing.
Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about these thoughts, and
Yes.
that's why brought me into your group. Sorry about
No,
that.
no, no, no
Maybe
worries at all.
I
Thank you.
joined mistakenly. I don't know. I had an email, so I just clicked on that and I just joined it.
Fantastic. No, we're glad you're here. We're glad that you're here. Fantastic. So we're just going to go back to, so we've talked about some priorities. We've talked
Yes.
about some of the planning. And then those two things, once you've got your priorities in order,
Yeah.
and they will change as you kind of tick them off the list, then you've got your planning in place and you know how you're going to plan. And it's so much easier when you've got a plan because now you can work that plan. And plan, here's a little tip as well, is plan the day ahead of you before you go to sleep at night. So you're not thinking, oh, what am I going to do today? What could I do today? Actually go to
On
your
a daily
calendar, get
basis.
your diary out and make sure that you're then coming down and you've got a head start because you already know where you're starting and you already have some idea of how long that thing's going to take. So even before you get to where Krystal is, where you've got all of that back office stuff going on, just knowing what you're going to do, because there's still this front office that you need to work on, which is you, right? Having to do things that you need to do that the back office isn't doing. You've got your systems, you've got the emails going off, you've got your automation, fantastic. Let's also look at the front office, which is the you part. What are you going to do that helps you to be your best self each and every single day? So, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I want to offer that the back office is meant to support the front office that Lucy is just talking about. And that whatever we have in place in the front office is what is going to scale. Does that make sense? So if we're chaotic, if we're disorganized, if we're unsure, and we're trying to scale, that's what's going to scale. So worry about that front office and then know that the back office is built to support.
Yeah, it's both. It's not one or the other. They work together.
Correct.
Hence, and Krystal and I are here working together. Just in case any of you have to leave early, we've got about another 10, 15 minutes. Krystal is So you can get, Krystal, are you going to invite people into your group? You're
Oh,
looking at me
sorry, my
like,
computer froze.
oh,
I
okay.
missed what you said.
So Krystal will invite you into her group, and I'm going to also invite you to a peak performance assessment that will help you look at your goals, your self-care, which is also very, very important, your vision, and your productivity. So there's just 16 questions on there, 4 in each section, and it gives you a breakdown to help you at the end through what you've put in there, so it comes out personalized for you. And then if you want to chat through that, then you can get a call with me to go through those things. And Krystal is going to grab her link to her group. There we go. So, yeah, thoughts from that. Sharon, have you got any more thoughts coming up? You're already off mute. You don't even need to find
Oh, good. Perfect. I have a feeling, and it's just a feeling of relief to kind of see the steps and know that I can do that. So that's a relief feeling.
That's a good feeling to have, right?
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. It was something I was talking about today. It's like feel it in your body. There's the logical stuff that perhaps we're covering here. It's like get really logical, but then how does that make you feel in your body? Because that's really important. It's your body is sending you messages. You don't want to feel anxious. You don't want to be feeling fear, particularly, well, unless you need to. But when you feel that relief, it's like, oh, now I know I'm on the right track. It sent you a little message, right? Fantastic.
Yes.
Good. We like that. Wendy, do you have anything you'd like to share at this stage?
It's just good to hear. I think I know about Kajabi. I know about Go High Level. I know about school. I know there are these platforms. It was nice for you to, let's see, you gave a specific game plan, and I took a lot of notes, so I need to read through them again. But it was kind of, it'd be a step 1 through 5 of what I need to do next. How I can map out I think it has to do with the client journey. That's really helpful.
Awesome.
Yeah, the client journey is very helpful. When you know that, then you can put some stuff into place, can't you?
Yeah, and that's what the big realization for me was, is I kept feeling like I was doing something wrong. Like how, all of these people are doing all of these things and their businesses are going and they're growing. And I'm like doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And I needed to just kind of put all of the noise aside and figure out, what do I need to do? Right. And it comes down to those really basic things. How am I being seen? What am I offering? How am I getting people to convert? And then how am I delivering on that service? That's all that it comes down to. And when I just focus on that and set all of the noise aside, and then I can see, well, in order to do this, I need this. And then I can build it out, or have someone build it out for me if that's not my thing. If in order to do this, I need this. Right. And then you just kind of go, and I feel like it takes away all of that pressure and all of that noise and all of that stress when you just have a plan, when you just know, this is what I'm doing. This is what I get to create. This is what I get to do.
And it feels that relief, isn't it? It's that these simplify. And one of the things that I will say with my clients is eliminate before you add anything else in. What can you eliminate from your business? What can you eliminate from your life? What could you eliminate that it's not of any use? It's not helping you. It's not supporting you. So take that away, rather than going, oh, what do I need to add in? I need more of this, more of this, more of this, because that's when you get the overwhelm. And that's when you can't really see where those priorities are. When you clear away the clutter, when you clear away the stuff that's not working, the stuff that's maybe a bit broken, then you go, okay, now I've got clarity. It's part of the environment as well that you're building for yourself, right? If everything is cluttered, you imagine if the room that you're sitting in's got clutter everywhere, and it's got books and files and everything's, in boxes all over the place, like it is in my house because I'm just about to move. It doesn't feel very good. It feels like you're constricted. Whereas when I clear that clutter out, once the removal guys get here and as things start to go, it's like, it's going to feel so good. And all the boxes have gone. And it's like, oh, and now I've got clarity. Now I can see that this wall needs painting or this radiator needs something doing to it, right? So when you've got that kind of clarity, so eliminate stuff. So really look at, before you do anything else, it's just like for yourself coming off this party today, is look at what's there that you don't need anymore and eliminate it. And then you can get clarity on what your priorities are. And then you can go ahead and start planning some stuff, right? And taking those steps and putting them in place. And Krystal's given you a crystal clear, literally, plan and those steps that you were talking about, Wendy. Krystal is crystal clear. She's wonderful. That's why we get on so well. You now got those steps. You go, okay, have I covered step 1? What about step 2? What have I got down to step 5 yet? And then what comes under all of those things? Yeah, and who do I know? Who's my who? Who's the person I need to, like Mara was saying, who do I need to ask to help me with this? Right? So, Mara, I don't know if you're still there. I mean, I can see you're still there. Did you have any ahas or questions?
I I don't know that I had any ahas. Well, maybe I just had validation that, you know, there are answers out there. We are never going to know everything. And as long as we keep meeting in groups like this, that we expand our capacity to consciously engage in the human experience.
Love that.
Mhm.
I love that. I remember somebody saying to me, when you're building the plane, it's like you hear, you know, build the plane as you go, right? We've all heard that. Build the plane as you go. And that's like not building your offer in a vacuum. You build it as you go. You build it with people around you, which is what Mel was saying as well. Stay in the group, stay around the people that have got that energy and got that vibe. And the other thing that I've heard is make it a jet, right? So that your business has room to expand and carry all of those people and carry all those courses and carry all the books and whatever you're doing in your business. So make it big enough so that you can step into it and get it off the ground at the same time. So whichever analogy you like, but it might be a mix of both. Krystal, got anything you'd like to share?
No, I think that's spot on. Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah. And the great thing about is when you get the clarity, when you get those priorities, when you get that plan in place, you don't even need to worry about the profits because they start to happen anyway.
Exactly.
Because you feel like Sharon was more relieved. You feel that relief. It's like, oh, now I've got everything sorted. Now I know what to do. And when I get up in the morning, I know what I'm going to do. And I've got my priorities. And that's not my priorities, so I'm not going to do it. And so you focus on your zone of genius, whatever that is, and you can go for it.
Yeah.
And that feels so good when you're in your aligned space, doing what you know you can do, the storytelling, the cinematic storytelling. Sharon, what's your main thing that you do?
Relationship coaching.
Relationship coaching in all sorts of relationships?
Yes.
Ah, I didn't know that. That's news to me. Okay, fabulous. So your zone of genius, so you're zoning in on that rather than worrying about all of the other stuff that you've got, because you've got it all sorted, you've got it planned, and you've got your priorities there. So if your priority is what you know you do best, then try, like Krystal was saying, try to automate or delegate or eliminate the other stuff, and really that you are doing your thing the best that you can because you know you're the best at doing that. And you couldn't delegate that because that's you. That's the Wendy thing. That's the Sharon thing. That's the Haj.
Right.
That's the Krystal thing. That's the Lucy thing, right? Nobody can automate us. We don't want to be automated, but we can use automation.
Yes.
Right. And then I would offer that that's where the profits come from. They come from consistency, consistently putting your plan into place and following through with it, knowing that you have the systems, knowing the systems catching people who would otherwise fall through the cracks because you have them in place, right? And that's like the technical side of it, but also the profit side of it comes from your energy, because you don't have this desperation, like I need this client, I need to close, I need this, da 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 da, whatever. Your energy is different, which means your profits are going to show up differently. When you are not spending time doing things that you don't want to be doing anyway, like I said, you are, or maybe I didn't say it, but you are the operating system of your business. It's a reflection of you, right? So that's where the profits come into play as well, is if your energy is down, your profits are probably going to be down as well.
Yes. And remembering that somebody was saying it in a group the other day, she was talking about joy. She's in a not in a great place financially, but she was talking about joys, and this was earlier today. And I just put a note in, from your joy, open up and expanding will come your profits. But that's where the money's going to come from. Because that energy, right, you're talking about, Krystal, brings everything else up. It's like one lifts all ships, right? Rising tide lifts all ships. So you're right, real rising tide of joy, your rising tide of belief, and however you want to look at that, whether that is your faith in yourself, your faith in what you do and how brilliant you are in what you do and how much knowledge you have and the skills that you have and the passion you have for that and the alignment that you have for that, all of those things, keeping that focus and knowing that however else it looks around you, that's from yesterday. That's because of what you were thinking yesterday. So keep your focus going forwards, and focus is a really important thing here. And it's the hardest work in the world, is when you've got not a lot of money and you've got to think, this is an abundant universe, this is an abundant world, and you have to keep, and it's so hard to do when you feel like you're struggling. This lady was struggling a lot, but she's getting abundant new friends, and that's one of the things she was asking the universe for. So she's getting abundant joy from outside, but it's affecting her on the inside. So the profits will come. So it close this out.
Yes, I have one more question, Krystal. I think I'm stuck in a place because I used to live by the Franklin Planner. And I designed my life in a way that, all the little symbols and all the prioritization, the paper planner. And I would always refurbish the leather, it was my way, choose the stationery and the pretty paper on the inside. And now we're in technology world. And I guess Google Docs is easier than I make it out to be. I think I overthink Google Docs. I don't think I've had a tour enough to make me realize that it's actually friendly. I'm also coming at it from a word world. And what I mean by that is, in the past, you had having to save things, whereas in Google, you're not, it just stays there. You don't have to, and so the transitions of mindset from going to a Franklin planner to technology, that's not even something I think Go High Level has in it. I mean, like, what do you do your to-do list for the day on?
I use Notion. So Notion is my task manager. And between Notion, Claude Cowork, and Go High Level, I think Canva might be like the only other thing that I really use to run my business.
That's so good, because yes, that seems manageable. I mean, yes, because it can really get out of hand, all the little parts and pieces that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I just found what works for me. I am still, you see this here? I've got my notebook right here. I'm taking notes with pen and paper,
yeah.
right? This is how I'm going to do it. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to go put it into my digital thing. Anything that needs to stay, that I need to make sure that I don't forget, or any task that I need to do, I have my brain dump is literally what it's called. in Notion where I can just go to it and dump everything into it and then organize it as I need to let me know. So that's how when I sit down, I know what needs to be worked on when, because it automatically pulls it up. That's something my paper planner can't do.
So
So,
Notion organizes it, or do you have to ask Claude?
I have Notion set up in a way to where it's organized now. I'm just starting to use Claude and realizing how awesome it is to have, but it's because I have it set up already. Right? Otherwise, Claude will try to set up a million different things. None of them will talk to each other and it'll be a mess. So again, you have to know first, how do you want to organize things? I have a system set up where I write everything down and then I break it into business, home, or personal. And then when I have time, if I'm working on business stuff, I work on business stuff. If I'm at home and I have a home project, then I know that's the list that I'll pull up. And that's just how it works for me, because all three are, always on. Nothing lives in a silo. My business is in my house next to my kids and I'm in it. So, right. They all combine. So I put everything in one list and then I sort it. And then when I have the time, again, that's where the planning and priorities come in. So every Sunday I will sit down and I will look at my week and I will say, okay, where is my time? Where do I have spots of time? And then I will block, this is for client work. This is for creating content. This is for, writing on my book. And then when I sit down and I pull up my Notion and it says, okay, if you're working on client work, this is what you need to work on. If you're working on admin work, this is what you need to work on.
Thank you so much. So our way to follow through with you is the link you gave us.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, we have got to the hour, just gone over. So thank you so much all for joining us. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much for your questions and your input and sharing, and it's been great fun. And for those who are watching on the replay, then you know how to find us, you know how to find Krystal, or you know how to find myself. And if you've got questions, please do come back to us. Krystal, do you want to close us out?
Thank you guys so much. This was so fun. And yeah, if you need us, you know how to reach us.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.